Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Backstage Spotlight. Today we have the absolute sensation that is Lourds Lane. Hello.
Hello, friend. How are you?
So good. How are you? Where are you calling from today?
New York City, a couple of days before we head back to London. So I'm really
Wow.
excited. And needless to say, it's been a crazy day just getting everything all together. We are staging the new rock opera version of our show, which I'm really excited about at Curve in Leicester. So
Oh,
y'all got to check it out.
fantastic. For those who are listening and aren't familiar with Super You and the creation you have made, would you like to do a brief overview of the show and what it started at and what it has become?
Sure. Uh, Super You is the story of an artist who learns to love herself when her own superheroine creations come to life. And she has to navigate through grief and heartache and caretaking and life in general in order for her to really discover the superhero that she has within herself. And the story it's a metaphor. Superheroes, yes, there's fabulous costumes and people who will sing their faces off, but superheroes are a metaphor for your power and your authentic truth, the fullness of who you are, and and so it's not really a superhero story per se. It's much more a human story. And the music runs the gamut from rock to pop to country to soulful ballads to hip hop.
Wow.
And yeah, it's modern music. And you know this because we did a show and we invited you to come be in our cast,
It was
which was so
amazing.
fun at the Lyric, our concert with Lucy Jones, and you were amazing. So I'm so glad you got
Thank
to be a
you.
part of our show.
Oh, it was fantastic. And what an amazing show and company to be a part of. Would you like to go back to the beginning and let us know what inspired you to create this piece?
Sure. So I was writing it in dribs and drabs when I was in a touring rock band, and I was doing shows that celebrated female power. And so it was all about female rocker power. So I would do shows uh, with my amazing rocker friends, and um, and they were all like superheroes to me, right? So we would do this festival that I created called Medusa Festival, and it was um, just a lot of really awesome underground indie rock and roll bands that are women centric and celebrating the power of female voices, which wasn't really celebrated as much at the time. So it was a really great experience to celebrate each other. And the first band would stay to the last band. And it was a love fest where we all got to increase our collective fan bases because we were playing together. And and then I thought, I'm running these successful shows and it's always sold out, line out the door. And I thought, you know what? Maybe I should create a show with my favorite singers, and they're awesome. They're like superheroes to me, and I'll just do like a musical review. And I asked them, would you mind singing some of my songs, and let's just put it all together. And they were like, sure. I mean, the shows that we would do were always really packed with people and screaming fans. So they were like, yeah, let's go do this. And the first show was so, oh, what's the word for it? It's like it like drew people in so much that people were literally saying, how can I put money into this? Which is crazy because there was no structure to put money into it. It was just a concept, and people were like, there's something here, but I need to know the story. And at the time I was going through some heartbreak, and I couldn't really write much of anything, let alone get out of bed, and so in that moment, I thought, okay, there's something here. People want to hear the story. I can't really write. There was a playlist going on shuffle in the background, and I heard a song, and I thought, wow, I really wish I wrote that song. And then I realized that actually I did write that song, and then and then I thought, that's the story. The story is we don't celebrate what we do as artists, and we don't really take a moment to be like, my art is worthy, like you could be struggling and working so hard and beating your head against the wall, but don't wait, create. We got to get out there. We got to do this because our art matters. So I listened to one of my own songs. It was playing low. I didn't realize, and I realized, you know what? This is making me feel better, and there's fans out there who know my music and feel better on the other side of a set of music. And I'm worthy and I'm enough. And I thought, okay, this story is about a comic book artist who learns to love herself when her own art comes to empower her, just like my own song said, hey, you got to keep doing this, right? So then, the script morphed many, many, many times. And then it really changed during the pandemic when my mom passed. And then
Sorry
there was
to
like,
hear that.
yeah, and there was a lot of elements of my mom now in the story as well. So it's a journey of finding your power, on healing, on getting on the other side of grief, and essentially it's a real personal journey because mostly it's about learning to find your worth and loving yourself and figuring that out, which is a constant journey, right?
Yeah, I mean, wow. Listening to all of that, you're just an amazing human for creating this piece, which I have had, the pleasure to perform with a lovely group of people. And it's so powerful, and seeing those audiences at stage door. How do you feel when people come to you and say, your work means so much to me, it's really helped me? How does that actually feel?
it it's unbelievable. I mean, just recently, one of our songs, To My Angels, was translated to Welsh, and
Wow.
she came in third in this TV show contest, and it's been translated by thousands, literally thousands, and covered, but not necessarily all translated, but it's been covered by thousands of people around the world. And and every time I hear someone sing one of my songs, I literally weep. I mean, I get choked up just thinking about it because it's like the ripple effect of, like, I write a song in grief, and then somehow it's like healing and helping other people,
Yeah.
and and now there are people all over the world, like this person just the other day, like we just did a fan cover. She just posted a story. She's like, you have no idea how this song helped me. Do you know what I mean? And I, like, it's so crazy to me. So crazy to me because we're the little show that could. You know what I mean? Our first production is coming up, really. As a rock opera, right? And the fact that here in the States, I'm getting a little choked up. There's senior showcases. Do you have that? Where
Yes, yeah.
So we're the fourth most sung song in senior showcases
Wow.
amongst Broadway songs. So, like, what?
That you can't even comprehend that. That is just
No. And
insane.
and it's just joy for me. It's just joy for me because, you know, writing this musical is just like pouring my heart out on the paper, and it's just truth. And if it's resonating as truth for other people around the world, is there anything better, really?
I know. It really is truly amazing and inspiring, and I'm sure so many people would say the same. It is fantastic. I want to ask you now how you have transformed the show that we did in Leicester Curve last year to this rock opera that is going to be
At
shown.
the lyric, you mean? At the
Oh, at
lyric.
the lyric, yeah. And how it has transformed, you have transformed it to be this rock opera at the Curve in Leicester.
Basically, I've had no life for the last 6 months. I'm not kidding you. Like, it's just because, like, I've been just birthing this child. You know what I mean? It's like people be like, "Hey, you want?" I'm like, "No, I can't." Right? So it's now completely sung through rock opera. So if people like
Wow.
music before, it's all music now.
That is amazing.
And so uh it's a lot of work. And honestly, it was just finished the other day. So like we're coming in raw and fresh. And it's just gonna be it's literally the world premiere at Curve in Leicester to see what this has become. But we're really excited because we sang through it. When I say we, it was Joanne Hunter, our director, and Wendy Bobbitt, our musical supervisor, and we just sang through it, the three of us, uh, a few days ago, and it's awesome. It's awesome, and I'll tell you why. I feel like you're gonna lean in, like because it's all sung through. You're gonna want to like, wait a second, I gotta hear. You know what I mean? So and we're really blessed because we have a Olivier winning sound designer, Tony Gale, as our sound designer. So I'm sure you're
Amazing.
going to be able to hear every word. So no matter what, it's going to be momentous because I never thought, like when I listened to Les Mis or I listened to Hamilton or I listened to Rent, I go, now that's something, right? It didn't, it didn't occur to me to ever do that because the natural inclination is like, of course, you write some songs and you write dialogue in between, right? But
Yeah.
here's the reality. I speak in music. Like I'm much more natural writing through song. And also, when everything is scored through music, I can put symbolism in there and motifs where it's like, oh, that's that's the Mirror motif coming in. Oh, that's Maddie motif coming. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like it becomes like a much greater art piece and so much more fun, but really intricate.
Yeah,
It's
that's
awesome.
fascinating.
I'm so excited about what's gonna happen at Curve, and I really are you gonna come? Can you come?
Yes, I'm definitely going to try and come. I haven't got my tickets yet, but I
Don't
need to look
worry.
my
Reach out to
diary.
me. Reach out to me.
I need to check my diary and sort the dates out, but I will definitely, I have to see it. I have to. I absolutely have to.
I can't wait for you to see it.
I can't wait. Honestly, it sounds sensational. And everyone who doesn't see it, I mean, why would you not? Why would you not? So I saw that you performed, well, Super You performed at Leicester Pride recently. How was
I
that?
I know. Vicky Manser is our lead from Six.
Yeah,
She actually played every queen in Six, so she's a bit of a phenom,
yeah,
and
amazing.
she rocked it. she's just completely fabulous. And her voice, oh my goodness. But the beautiful part about our cast is that you have to be prepared for your face to be melted. It's like when you remember with our show,
Yes.
there's showcase moments, right? So it's like you get to hear different kinds of voices and and people, of diverse people
Yes.
singing diverse styles, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. If this isn't too difficult to answer, what is your process when you are coming up with, say, a song or a piece of music? How do you go from start to a finished product?
I take a nap. I'm not kidding you though. Like when you're in theta and you're in sleep mode, it's there's something that can get channeled. Like I hear the music in the silence. If I'm too crazy and cluttered, I can't hear anything. I so Melissa Jones, our producer, will laugh at me because she'll be like, "Do you have the song yet?" Like for blah de blah, yes, whatever. She'll say like, "Is it? Did you write it?" And then I'm like, "I give me a couple hours. I need to take a nap." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because it's like if I meditate on what is needed, and I meditate on the impact that I feel like the show can have, you
Wow.
know?
Yeah.
And when I absorb that into my being, then go to sleep or like take a little bit of a nap, the song sings to me. And usually it comes out really quickly. At least the melody and the lyric does. Putting it all together after that takes a minute, to get it exactly right.
Yeah.
But um, but the heart of it, the soul of it, uh, first of all, it already exists, and so I just need to hear it.
Yeah. That,
And
yeah.
so
It's amazing to me for someone who isn't musical as such in terms of creation to hear from someone who comes up with these fantastic songs, these fantastic lyrics, to how it actually comes to you, and to hear that it just comes for you, that you just hear it is really fascinating.
I think that part of the reason is that I don't think I just think that I'm a vehicle for it, and I don't say like, "Ooh, I'm such the best songwriter." I don't take it as like it's so not about me. It's about being open and clear so that I could hear it. Like does that sound like really crazy? But that is the truth though. Like if I the minute I say I did this and I'm awesome, I think that I'm going to stop hearing it. I really believe that. I think that it's because you have to have humility through this process. You have to, you know, be in collaboration with something greater than yourself, and then art can come through you, if that makes sense.
Wow. Amazing. Honestly, amazing. So this you might not be able to answer, and that's okay. But if you had to pick your favorite song that you've ever written, what would that be?
Um, I think, I think that's like picking your favorite child, right?
That's such a good way of putting it.
So I'm gonna have to, not answer that because, you know,
It's too hard.
it's a little hard. It's a little hard because each song heals a different part of my heart. you know?
Oh,
And so
yeah.
I can't be like, okay, well, I love that moment when my this heart part of my heart got healed, but what about that moment? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like and they're all so personal. So
Yeah.
they're special for me for different reasons. What's your favorite?
I was just thinking, to be honest, if you asked me the question, I don't know what I would answer.
Really?
Yeah, it's really hard. I think a classic, I wouldn't say like it's my favorite because they're all so powerful, but a classic is has to be To My Angels just because of how worldwide it has become, and it's just put a stamp on Super You and your music. I feel like I don't know the history as much as obviously you do, but that for me was like the first thing I saw that led me to see like the Super You page. And I think that that's the same for a lot of people. It's like the song that went viral that drove people to see the page. So I think that's one I will always think of when people mention your music and Super You. But honestly, sitting through that concert that was at the Lyric, I couldn't pick just one because it's just all so moving, so powerful. And
That's so
also, yeah,
awesome. Thank you for saying that. That really means the
honestly,
world
it
to
was
me.
great. So out of the for the people who are listening and don't know as much as about Super You as the people who have seen it or the people who have been following it, what is the general message that you want to spread through this piece?
I Super You is about connecting to your authentic self. It's the truth of who you are. And we celebrate kindness to others, but especially to yourself. We celebrate love, diversity, inclusion. Inclusion.
Yes.
We recently released this video called "And Now I Rise,"
Which is
and
fantastic, may I add.
oh yay! I'm so glad. And we did this call out for anyone who has ever felt othered, anyone who's ever been bullied, and 100 people came to the shoot from all different backgrounds: LGBTQ, neurodivergent, people struggling with mental health issues, body issues, depression, body dysmorphia. Uh, uh, there was a woman had a who has a leg that is amputated and is a dancer, right? So
Wow.
it's like all these people were on the roof, all of us feeling like outcasts, and celebrated for exactly who we are. And what we did is that we interviewed everybody who came to the shoot, and they've been telling their pain to power stories every Sunday on Super You Sunday. Uh, and it's been really beautiful to hear people just wear their scars with pride every week. And if I were to distill our message, it's like just be you. If you listen to all these stories, and you can go to Superhuman, SUPERYOUMAN life.com, and you can binge watch all these stories of the people from the And Now I Rise cast. And
Wow.
if you listen to their stories, you're going to hear people who've gone through such pain and are so brave, but the takeaway message is you just got to love who you are just as you are. And I think that's the essence of it. That's the essence of everything I do in life is get people connected to the core of who they are, because that's where the shine is. And when you shine as your truth, you inspire other people to shine in their truth just by you being you. And that's also a message in the show. So, I mean, I hate to talk about messages because it's not like we're trying to put messages in the show, like, here
Yeah.
comes another message. It's like, that's just the heart of,
Yeah.
that's just, that's just the
So
heart of
people can find their authentic selves. I
That's
love
it.
that. Yeah, it's beautiful and so special to create such a safe environment. And I feel a lot of people do go to your page to find, the safety. And you can see that in the super you in the And Now I Ride's music video. You can just see the pure happiness in those people, and they just look like they feel safe being themselves. And it's so amazing that you've created that community with the music you create. It's fantastic.
It was really one of the best days of my life because so we have a nonprofit as well, and it empowers youth and adults to connect to their powerful selves, their superhero selves through music, theater, art, dance, declaration, and being with people who have felt othered, and everyone who came in like saying, I have a story and I feel a certain way because my life has gone through this journey, but then dancing on a roof together and celebrating the fullness of who we are. It was so thrilling, and there was such acceptance all around. So there were some people who were a little neurodivergent who would interject suddenly and say something, and people were like, yay, okay, let's keep going. It was just like a love fest. Just be who you are, and we're gonna love each other. And it was so good. You have to watch it. If you haven't seen that Now I Rise, go look it up on superumusical.com and check out that video. It was made with so much love, and I think that it's a cornerstone that the heart of our show is within that video. So check it
Definitely.
out.
Definitely check it out. Where do you see Super You in the future?
Oh, it's good. In my head, we're building a movement, baby.
Yes.
So that's it. Like, where do I see it? I see it in the West End. I see it on Broadway. I see it tours around the world. I see movies. I see comics. I see action figures. I see plushies. I see
Yes.
I see people in creating their superhero capes and owning their own superhero selves. Do you know what I mean? So listen, I've got big dreams.
It's going to be huge. Absolutely huge. And you heard it here first, or maybe not first, second. It's going to be absolutely massive. And you started it. It's all because of you, which
I'm
is,
grateful. I'm grateful for our team. I'm grateful
yeah,
for our amazing team. And yes, like I may have had the seed of it, but I would be nothing without all the love and support that is all around me, truly. And so I just want to put that out there that um, it's like you can have an idea as an artist, but the only way that idea is really going to get off the ground is if you attract people, like-minded people with the same heart and soul that can, come and say, let's do this together, and we embrace each other as we walk down this path.
yeah, it's lovely to have such an amazing team, which
Yeah.
I've met some of them as well, and they are great people, such
Yeah.
great people. If you could create a piece of Super You merch that will be sold worldwide, what would it be?
Action figures. I mean,
Yes, surely.
come on, we got to get each of the action figures of those of all the characters, right? And
Yes.
then ultimately moving to creating action figures of everybody. Do you know what I mean? Like, meaning even the audience, like, because it's really it's yes, it starts off with the characters in the show, but really it's about you. It's about the hero in you, right?
I love it. I absolutely love it. Before we wrap this episode up, I would love to ask you if you could nominate someone from your team, from a previous cast, from someone who is going to appear in Leicester Curve to come on the podcast and talk about their experience. Who would it be? And it can be more than one person if you wish.
I mean, I would get Vicky Manser. You have
We've
to
had
get
her on. We've had her on, but we could do a Super You special with Vicky Mansa.
you gotta you okay. Get Vicky on, and because We did a live an Instagram takeover of what's on stage,
Yes.
and I learned some things which were really emotional. I don't want to give it away,
Yeah.
but it was like it's really awesome her journey with Super You, and maybe you'll do it, a few weeks into the process so that you could, while she's starring in our show and at the Curve, she can talk about the process. I think that
What
would
an
be a really
amazing
great
idea.
idea.
Really good idea. We'll do it. We'll do it for sure. Thank you so much, Lords, and to everyone listening, go check Super You out. If you don't know what Super You is, you have to go and check it out now. Thank you so much, Lords.
Thank you, my friend, and let me know when you're coming, okay?
I will. Don't you
Uh,
worry.
all right.
See you later.
See
Goodbye.
you.